My name is Michael Delacruz, and I'm a London-based artist and researcher. Currently, for other occupational reasons, spending a lot of time in Afghanistan. What we're going to do today is present a work, Dolors of the Vanquished, which is a collaborative adaptation of themes addressed in Aeschylus's Persians, a drama first performed in Athens in 472 BC. I put it together with the help of artist and musician Anya O'Dwyer, some inputs from other Afghan and London-based filmmakers, videographers, and today, pleased also to have the contribution of members from Siren Modern Dance. The Persians is unique in the canon of Greek tragedy in that it's the only play, existing play, that deals with historic events, namely the defeat of the Persians at the Battle of Salamis in 480 BC. In the minds of some scholars, this was a pivotal point in history which essentially gave room for the development of Western civilization, because they were no longer under attempts of the Persian Empire to essentially subsume them into their orbit. More specifically, the narrative is interesting because it takes a sympathetic view of the suffering and grief of the defeated Persians, albeit from a Greek perspective. And it's perhaps the earliest aesthetic expression of the East-West divide that, in my opinion, continues to be at issue today. This adaptation seeks to re-examine these themes, focusing on the lamentations of the Persian queen Atossa through the contemporary lens of moving image, verse, and music, and, in the case of today, movement. So, hopefully, perhaps giving the lamentations of Atossa a new or somewhat different voice. So I'll leave the description to that, and perhaps we'll have time for some questions from my collaborators afterwards. I collaborate with others in order to perhaps give me greater reach with respect to taking source footage and things of this nature. So some things were taken by myself, other elements from these Afghan filmmakers that I mentioned. I personally spent a lot of, most of my time manipulating or working with those images and working with an editor to do a composite edit. I consider myself a painter, so I'm not really a moving image guy, but I've been becoming increasingly interested in things that are arguably more narrative and performative, largely because of my interest in Greek tragedy and proto-tragedy as a sort of demonstrative or performative process. With respect to the flag, it was interesting in that some of the footage I captured from the ruins in Balkh, or what used to be Bactrian back in ancient times. Those were those sort of monolithic-looking mounds that you might have seen in there. There were flags present, and they have a religious significance. There are tombs in that area that are kept by old men watching over them night and day. And some of the Afghan filmmakers that I was working with similarly captured flags in a slightly different context. And so for me, particularly since there are tremendous or significant political overtones in the context of the Persians, of victor and vanquished, and political aspiration or imperial aspiration and the defeat thereof of it, the flag had that sort of symbolic importance for me.
Any other questions?
The vocals, is that the verse that we see on the paper?
Yeah.
Can you talk about how it was very haunting. I mean, I know that was part of, I guess it was part of the intent, but in combination with the dancers, I felt such deep sorrow as I listened and watched.
I just spent a full month reading, rereading, soaking up the material that I was